What did you think of that? We were just mentioning there, Trevor, Pochettino to Real Madrid over Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it'd be a big blow if Manchester United are looking to recruit him and they get snubbed again. They've not had much luck with managers recently. But I think if Mbappe's going to Madrid, potentially Pogba, why would you want to go to Manchester United over Real Madrid? I think that would be the way I would look at it. So I can see it happening. But he has got a great agent because
which one is Poch's agent? Do you know who he's with?
I'm not sure.
Yes, I said I'm with Trevor. I don't think he's set the world like PSG. He didn't win the league last year. He's going to win it this year, of course. But I'm a little bit underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about a different side of Manchester that you know well, Manchester City. So Liverpool came from behind to beat Norwich. Hours before, City were beaten 3-2 at home by Spurs. It means the gap at the top of the table has been cut to 6 points, with the Reds with that game in hand against Leeds tomorrow. And if we beat them, the deficit will be down to 3 points. City's next game is Everton away on Saturday. That's a 5:30 kickoff. It's also a talkSPORT exclusive. So, Trevor, as a Manchester City fan and with your Manchester City hat on, are you a little bit worried about Liverpool?
I'm concerned. Obviously, I think the title race is wide open again. I don't think there was many Manchester City fans saying it's over, even though it was 12 points lead. Liverpool had 2 games in hand. One slip up like we've seen would open it wide open again. So yeah, it's a concern. I think that the game in April is going to be huge. But I just think it was the underwhelming performance which was concerning. And you have to give credit to Spurs. I thought their game plan was executed superbly well. But there were some key players that I thought were really off it. Cancelo defensively I thought was really off it. The 2 central defenders, still I'm a massive fan of Stones, and even though it should work with Laporte on his left, with Diaz on the right, I like Stones on the right and Diaz on the left. I think that's a better partnership. I think just individually, as in a partnership, they work better. They seem to have that bromance and that respect and that ability to put in performances and keep clean sheets. So I think that was an area where Manchester City struggled. And I thought he's been so good this season, and I think he's had a lot of plaudits. Rodri, I thought one of his main jobs in the team, and once it's happened once or twice in the game previously, you have to switch on and adapt to that. And I thought with Kane getting into that little number 10 position, he didn't screen it good enough, and that continued. And so underwhelming defensively, but again, I have to give all credit to Tottenham. Their execution of that game plan was superb, and Harry Kane was brilliant. Son, I thought he played his part superbly well, and he looks fit again. And I think Tottenham are a decent outfit when he's in the team. That's
the question, isn't it? Because Tottenham have a way of getting one over Manchester City.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Why is that? Is it the way that they play, the way that City play against them? What is it for you, Darren?
I mean, you look at the game at the start of the season, definitely, when Nuno got the result. It was really evident what they were trying to do. They were going to sit in there, they were going to wait, they were going to use the pace, because I think that day it was Son, Lucas Moura and Bergwijn, and it worked fantastically well, getting them up the pitch. And even in this game, it was similar again. Son in behind, Kulusevski in behind. As I said, Kulusevski in behind as well. Them two, Kane dropping into little pockets, and them just absolutely spinning in behind. And when you've got attacking fullbacks like Manchester City have, obviously Cancelo on the front foot, Kyle Walker wants to be on the front foot, they do leave space. So as quick as Kyle Walker is, there were a couple of times, certainly in the game, where he pushed forward a little bit, and the ball was in behind him, and he's not going to catch Son. He's too quick. So I think he was a little bit more reserved after a while going forward, because he thought, I can't really leave that space in behind. So Spurs executed their game plan to absolute perfection, but it is only one game. And I think that's where you don't want to get carried away. It's now in Liverpool's hands. Manchester City is still a fantastic side, and we know last time they lost the game, they went on this crazy unbeaten run. No. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did that again.
This is what I was going to say, beware the wounded animal, because you take points off Manchester City, and then the rest of the league seem to suffer for it, Trevor.
Yeah, and listen, Gundogan in his post-match interview said maybe this was a little leveller that we needed, to just make sure there's not too much complacency. But like Darren said, it was obvious, our high fullbacks, big spaces in behind. That's where I feel, if Manchester City, they could have kept on putting the fullbacks high, but if you stop that ball into Harry Kane, you stop the attack. And they just one, they never managed to do it, but also, two, you're talking about Harry Kane when he's got the bit between his teeth. I think Rodri did try and screen him at times, but he's so clever, he'll take up a second phase position, and before you know it, Rodri's nowhere near him. And he used his physicality so well. The amount of times you've seen him getting his body in the ray and just protecting the ball. Great execution of that skill set, and a good example for young players who play as a centre forward, especially in a long position up there on your own, how to look after the ball and how to put your body on the line to protect it and keep the move alive.
Trevor, I've heard a lot of people, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's like the moment Manchester City fail to win a game, or it's always like, why? If they had a centre forward, that wouldn't be the case. Are you thinking now that potentially they should have gone out and signed one, or are you still in the camp that, well, they've scored more goals than anyone, they don't necessarily need one?
Yeah, I'm definitely with the latter. At the beginning of the season, I was thinking, they're going to struggle this season. To do it one season, great, and I think you look at the rivalry for that top spot last season, and I think a few of the teams were off it. This season you thought Lukaku going in there, Manchester United strengthening, Liverpool getting back to full fitness, you would have thought that they would have needed a striker, but he's proved us wrong again. The players, Pep, proved us all wrong, so I can't go with that motion anymore, because I just feel like they've proved it so well this season and last season that they don't actually need a striker, that we have to kind of try and drop that and look for other reasons why. And I think one of them, the big reasons was, like I mentioned earlier, you have to give credit to Conte and the players at Spurs executing this game plan superbly well, and also a little bit underwhelming from certain players in the Manchester City side.
Who would you rather be in the position of? Liverpool, who are potentially, if they win that next game and they do close that gap to 3 points with the game in hand, would you rather be in the position of chasing because there's less pressure on you there? Would you rather be in the position of leading, Trevor?
I think both teams expect to win the league, start of the season, especially with full strength teams. So I'd rather be leading. I just think City having that advantage at home in the game against Liverpool in April, plus the game that we watched Liverpool against Manchester, I thought City were the better team, and they actually tinkered with their squad and the shape that day and still managed to be, I thought, the authoritative team in that match. So I just feel Manchester City are a better team, so I'd rather be managing the better team, and I think that's City. But on the day, Liverpool got players that can win a game, and we know that Diaz has come in, he's had a fantastic impact. They're full strength again. Squad-wise, they look a lot deeper and they've got a lot more quality in the depth of their squad. So yeah, I think it's going to go to at least the game in April, and if Manchester City win that, I think that'll probably give them the title, but there's a lot of football to be played before then.
There is, and it's made that football a lot more interesting, Darren, hasn't it? Do you thank that Spurs a little bit, your former team, for making the title race a bit more interesting for everyone?
Yeah, but I don't think anyone really thought it was over. I thought Manchester City would go on to win the league.
I think a lot of people thought it was over.
I still expect Manchester City to go on and win the league. Even now, I still have them as favourites. And you asked Trev there the question, who would I rather be? Absolutely still Manchester City, because they're still top of the table. Like, it's not like I can't see Manchester City falling off a cliff. They just don't do that. They understand how to win the games. They've been there before. And you go back to that a couple of seasons ago when them two went, I think, did they win their last 11 games in a row, going toe to toe? So they're both battle tested as well. Manchester City came out on top on that occasion as well. So yeah, I mean, Liverpool will push them all the way, but I still expect City to have the edge when it comes to the end. They've still got 3 points at the end of the day regardless.
You'd almost liken a team looking over their back to a team that isn't Manchester City, would you? Because they're so robotic and know exactly what to do to how to win the league.